Sorry, I was actually on mute there. So my name's Luke Cornier, and this is obviously Jinder Jade that you can see here. So we're two individuals. I personally run the Leeds Plus Facebook group, and Jinder here runs the Loco Leeds football channel on YouTube. So we've joined together to try and give ourselves a collaboration portal to be able to discuss really the Leeds United fixtures, latest news, any updates, and really just to have a conversation and get ourselves out there a bit with Leeds United being in lockdown and so forth. So, Jinder, would you like to introduce yourself? And obviously, this is predominantly going out on your channel. So,
well, our channel, but just like to welcome everybody to the Loco football channel, guys. With what Luke's just said, Leeds Plus, a fantastic Facebook group. It's a great social hub for us Leeds United fans, and this is a brand new show for all the lovely subscribers, brought to you by Luke and myself, and hopefully you will enjoy the insights that we bring to you on the score. And we're going to be talking a lot of things in the next half an hour. We're going to try not to bore you too much, and we're going to get into the nitty gritty. Remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell on, because I know these guys are watching the videos and enjoying videos, and we love listening to we love reading the comments and listening to the feedback from other people that have seen these videos, because they on Facebook they get in touch with you, don't they?
Definitely. I believe it's really important as well for everyone who's watching this on the YouTube page to go and click the notifications bell, because it's really important for this to be a live stream. This Jinder has his separate videos which are on his YouTube channel, which you can go and watch at any time, match day reviews, pre-match, post-match. But this is very much supposed to be a live forum, so you can go into the comment section, whether you're watching on the Loco Leeds football channel Facebook, Leeds Plus group, or on Jinder's YouTube channel live. And if you leave a comment there, we will see these later in the video and we will react, we will respond to you, and we will discuss this. So I believe that's very important to watch this live.
Yeah, so this is it, the first episode. Let's kick it off then, mate.
Yeah, so let's get forward to the latest result. Now, this isn't one that I was looking forward to actually discussing, but obviously the last game was against Brighton, and it was an unfortunate result, Jinder. I don't believe that it was. I don't believe that the result wasn't unfair on Leeds. I don't believe that we deserved to win the game or even to draw, to be fair. I believe we're quite lucky to have not lost 2-0 or 2-1, to be completely honest. It was unfortunate because of the team structure. We're losing a lot of people in the back due to injuries, and we still don't have a strong defence whatsoever. So you can't blame it. It wasn't a full team, but it's one of these things.
Yeah, I mean, in the course of the season, you're going to get these kind of games. Like I said, it's in my match day reaction. It was a disappointing result, and it was a result that I think with Leeds, this was the first time this season that we've sort of, looked a bit sort of out of ideas against a team from the bottom tier section. This usually happens to us when we're facing a top 6 club. So seeing somebody, a club like Brighton, with all due respect, they're not a top 6 club, or they're not even a top 8 club. They were in the bottom 6. So for us to be so lackluster in that Brighton game, it was just one of them games. And another thing is, they did come to nullify Leeds' attack. If you look at the game, I mean, I went back and watched the game again, and I looked at it, and the way Graham Potter set his stall out, it was there to sort of nullify the Leeds team.
Definitely, yeah, I completely agree with that. It was quite unfortunate, really. I believe there was a few chances there that we may have deserved to get a result from. There was somewhere later on in the game where Harrison got the ball. It come off of Bamford. He was trying to get it onto his stronger left foot, and it come off of Bamford on a deflection, went to Harrison, and I believe it either hit the post or went straight across the line. It's just unfortunate mistakes like this. It could have gone our way, to be completely honest, but there was also attempts where I believe it was after 1-0, they had an attempt on our goal and it had come off of our bar, so you could have gone either way with that. It's
it's
But
a
I do
confidence.
think it was a fair result. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a confidence thing. If everything's going really, really well, how many times have we seen Harrison, curl that particular chance in? So it's one of them things. I mean, the worrying thing was that Bamford was very isolated. At the top of the strike force. So that's a bit worrying. And the goals, we've not scored in 3 games. We haven't scored. But then there's another team like that as well, Liverpool, who've also done the same thing as well. So they've had a bit of a poor start to 2020. Let's hope it rectifies itself against Newcastle the next game, because we were supposed to play Southampton tomorrow, but
definitely
that's gone.
Well, if you look at our latest form, talking about this, we're actually talking about wins and draws. We're on a higher form than Liverpool at the moment on this.
Yeah.
So points based, Liverpool are above us. They're 7th on recent form, and we are 8th. That's because they've nicked in a couple more draws where we've lost. But if you're talking wins, we've got 3 wins out of our last 6, and Liverpool have only got 2. So it's interesting to see comparisons like this. It's such a bizarre league at the moment. We don't know what's going on.
It's one of them seasons that this season is going to be. It's going to be. Look, we're going to have highs, we're going to have lows, we're going to have sort of mediocre performances. But the thing is, we have to just keep going and grinding it out and grinding it out, and eventually, we're 19 games in, so we're 18 games in, shall we say? And that's halfway, and we've got 23 points. From what I think, if we get 5 more wins, that should be okay for us.
That's right, and I believe I could put my hands up in the air and agree that I was one of the people at the beginning of the season that was hugely overly optimistic, and I'm rightly so, to be fair. It was the buzz of promotion, the enjoyment, the energy in the air, and for some reason that bit in the back of my head was saying, okay, we're going to go and win the league, or we're going to go and get the Champions League. And it's reality's hit, and it's like being hungover the next day after drinking. I've sobered up, and I've realised that it's not all going to be rainbows and flowers. We're going to be losing against teams like this. We're not going to be winning every day. We're not going to be winning every week, every game, like we were in the Championship. But even then, I believe it was last season we lost away at Luton 1-0 or so. So it's just, you can't take every single fixture and start to form an opinion on how that reflects the team as a whole individually. If you take the season that we've had, we're currently 12th or so. I believe this is phenomenal, really. Absolutely phenomenal where we are.
Especially with the squad that we've got, the players that we've got. And, Luke, what you've just said. I mean, when the season kicked off, I had a feeling that it was going to be a difficult season. And I thought 11th or 10th would be a great first season. So my prediction is sort of on course. But that's not belittling our side by any means. It was just the first season is so important, and especially with the pandemic that we've had. There's been no pre-season, and that's why our pitch is the way it is, because there's no pre-season. So all these factors make a case for this season. So we have to keep that in mind. And also another thing is, he's building a project. These same players have been with us for such a long time, and it is something that is an ongoing project for Leeds.
That's very true. Yeah, it is an ongoing project. If you look at what Radjiani's set out, I believe it's a 5-year plan that he had when he first bought Leeds United. And he said that within the 5 years, he wanted to be promoted to the Premier League. This was his plan. He's beaten this now. He's exceeded his plan. And so he's had to form a new 5-year plan, which has started, I believe, 2 to 3 seasons, 2 years early. And it's got to the point now where he can push ourselves ahead and we can look further, which is somewhere what I never thought in 2017, 2016 that we were going to ever achieve, truthfully, in the foreseeable future.
Because the steps that we've taken to positive football, a positive era at Ellen Road, because, the Cellino years were horrible, weren't they? I'm wearing this top whenever I see Macron. It's like scary business, And but having said that, the plans in the Premier League are different to Championship. So what you've got to look at is that the plan in the Premier League will be 3 or 4 windows. You will see Leeds, I believe, in the top 6. I would say another 2 years, and we can be, because then you've had enough transfer windows, and hopefully with Marcelo still at the helm, for definitely this season and next season, it'd be great.
Completely correct. Now, before we move on quickly to the transfer section of today's show, I just want to do a few shout outs to the people that are interacting on our videos. So, Yasmin, she said hi. I believe it's a woman. So we just wanted to say hello back to you. To Mansour, he said, come on, you peacocks, and glory, glory, Leeds United. So, of course, we agree there as well. And over on the YouTube, we've had some interaction there from Infant Hit Squad Leeds. He said Leeds. So it's nice to be getting your comments and feedback. If you've got direct comments about the show, about the setup, about what we're planning on doing here, or for Jinder or myself as a contact sort of method, please throw your comments in there and we'll react to them whilst the video is still going on live. This is your only chance to have it reacted live and not in the next episode. So feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and we will actually interact with you on this show.
Yeah, and we're totally live, and it's the first episode of The Score. We're going to try and get these live streams to you guys once a week at least. Depends on the schedule, but I'm sure everybody's locked in at home, so nobody's going to go out anywhere. So we'll try and do as many as we can. It just all depends on time. But today is a bit of a test run, but it's the first episode of The Score.
That's the way it's got to be. So moving on now, Jinder, to the transfers. Obviously, this is a segment of the show which will be open for us to debate whilst the transfer window's open. We may go into speculation at other times during the season, but at the moment, our information is valid for this transfer window. So we've obviously seen recent transfers, loan spells, especially from our under-23s. We've had people such as Jordan Stevens, Bradford, Robbie Gotts to Salford, and so forth. And so I just wanted to ask you, Jinder, do you believe that this is important for Leeds' future to loan them out? Do you believe we may be liable there to losing some of our talent who have come through the ranks in the Leeds Academy, some players who may be better off fighting for a first-team role? Or do you believe there's so much competition, it's worth them going away, season loans typically, League 2, League 1, help teams in promotion, so quite strong contending teams get a first place role there and help us in the near to long future?
Well, we saw against that dreaded team Crawley Town in the FA Cup. I didn't want to mention it, but look, the youngsters came on, they struggled there. Under 23 game, the under 23 football is such a different step up to competitive men's football, so if they get experience and go to the Championship or League 1, I believe that is beneficial for them as their player development, but also beneficial for our club. But again, you want to send them to the right club as well. So I would love for, like, say, some of the really good ones, for instance, the lad who scored last week in the under-23s, Somerville. I can't say his first name, but Somerville, I think if he was to go to Huddersfield Town, because we've got that little connection with Carlos Coberon, and I think if he was to go there, he'd keep that sort of identity, because Huddersfield play really good football and it's similar sort of style to Leeds. So Barnsley's another one as well. And plus, if the lads stay local, it doesn't jeopardise them too much in their development as well. So, they won't be moving out of their, student sort of houses or whatever they're living with, or whoever they are with. But I think it's important that they get that kind of first team football under their belt. That experience is very, very important.
I've actually cheekily been watching a few of the games from these lower league sides as well. I believe some of them were £10 a stream, so I've actually really been pushing the boat out there to research about a couple of these players, because I'm interested. When you get this obsessive about it, you want to know if there's one player there that might be in our first team, the future Phillips. You now after he's come along in our sort of generation, you've seen that this can happen again. Who are they? Where are they?
Yeah.
And it's especially exciting, Jinder, because Leeds United's under-23s team are currently sit first in the Premier League Division 2 table. I believe, I might be wrong here, we were promoted last season from the lower division below, or we might have just sat below top. So we're first now. Our recent form is outstanding. 5 wins out of our last 5 games. So you're really looking there at some brilliant results. And for these younger players, players that have played for Leeds before in the first team, when we were back in the Championship, players like Jordan Stevens and Robbie Gotts, as I mentioned. I believe there's a slight issue there with some of the players where they've joined teams that aren't necessarily from Yorkshire. They've joined teams from across the Pennines, Manchester, Liverpool area, some of the lower teams, for example, Salford or rivals even. And so this is a talking point for me, because I currently see that there's no issue with it. I know that these are young players, they need the experience, and frankly enough, teams that are fighting for promotion in League 2 or League 1, they need these sorts of players. It's perfect. But out of morals, out of my personal love of Leeds United, to see them go to teams that wear the red rose, teams that align themselves with Manchester and Liverpool, it does pull on my heartstrings a bit and think, oh, is this the right path for them to go on? Or if I was a Leeds United player, would I have stopped myself going to these clubs, or in terms of loyalty, or would I have been happy to go to these clubs to get the experience to bring back to Leeds United?
Well, I think with young players, I think it's a journey, isn't it? They're just looking for any sort of experience or somebody just to give them a break, shall we say? Because the interesting story with Jack Harrison, he was a young lad and he's travelled all over the place, hasn't he? He went to Manchester United and he's playing for us now. I don't know whether you're as aware, or any of our subscribers or people who are watching this stream would be, but he was with Manchester United and then he went to Manchester City. So you could see what's going on there. But I don't know whether Harrison is from Manchester, so I don't really know a great deal about that. But having said that, you look at you just look at the way the whole setup is, and for a youth player, they just have to take the chance.
Yeah, completely agree.
That's about it.
We're going to move on to the next section, which is the under-23s. But once again, before this, if you all remember to subscribe, like and comment to Jinder's El Loco Leeds football channel on YouTube, if you're watching via this medium, and if you are watching via Facebook, either on the Leeds Plus page or on the El Loco Leeds Facebook page, my apologies, then please do join the pages, like the pages, share them to your friends. We'll be doing this frequently, and especially on Jinder's channel on YouTube, he'll be uploading a lot more frequently. So before we move on with this, Jinder, we've got a few more comments just to make note of. There's somebody on our YouTube page which is actually commenting from Chile. He said this is a lovely surprise, and he's watching from Chile, and this is quite important before we move on for Dago, that we've got this support and this fan base now from Chile and Argentina, and this is a loyal fan base. It's a fan base which I believe only Marcelo Bielsa could have brought. It's a very Leeds United fan base. They bought him and he bought us, and they've come along for the ride. And it's just amazing, because once again, before Bielsa come along, we didn't know much about Bielsa's history. I knew of his international career, but I didn't know the fans were as loyal as Leeds United. I didn't know they would fit into the glue so well. And even going to Leeds, I met fans from Argentina, and so I believe Leeds United is infectious. But just to see that support even on our channel from people from Chile, it means a lot. So thank you very much.
Yeah. Dago's a very good commenter as well, so salute to him.
Absolutely brilliant. So coming off from talking about recent transfers, and obviously that leads us into the under-23s. Now, talking about their form, they've won the last 5 on 5, which is absolutely phenomenal. And they've also just won the game, I believe it was yesterday, against Stoke. It was 1-0. This is very important to lead into our first team. I'm not sure if you saw the game, but they've actually, we won 1-0, but we had Phillips in the game and we had Diego Llorente, who obviously started as well. Back to full fitness, but just needed some match time experience before he actually could play for our first team again. And it was a cross off of Phillips, and it went out to the far corner, and Llorente was the one who headed it in. So a brilliant pair up there. I'm excited to see them actually get on the field again. It's just phenomenal to see.
Yeah. It's quite an under-23s lineup with the likes of Costa, Phillips, and Llorente. You know, there's about £50 million of talent there. But you know, when that with Llorente and Costa and company. But look, I think it's good that we've got, you know, these guys get some game time, because it keeps them sharp and active, and it's so nice for every Leeds United fan to actually see Diego Llorente come back and look as sharp as he did. But you know, it was a strong under-23 lineup. Somebody's just flashed up that Roberts as well. Yeah, I forgot to mention. You know, Tyler Roberts played as well, and you know what? He's only 21. We forget. So he actually, if he's in the under-23s, that'd be great. You know, he gets that experience as well. But I'm very happy with the under-23s form. And last time I've seen 2 games I've watched, you know, and they've won well, and they've played well as well. But an interesting note is that it's a totally different coach for the under-23s. It's a chap called it's a chap called Mr. Jackson. Because when I was looking at the touchline, I go, where could be Marcelo Bielsa's assistant? I think it's called Diego somebody or another. But I thought it could have been him, because Carlos Coberon used to do the under-23s coaching, didn't he? And but the way they play is slightly different to the first team. So I don't know whether we'd like to get some of the first team assistants in the under-23s as well, just so you know that transition, you know, they come forward with the first team as well.
Yeah. And whilst I was watching the game, especially against Stoke, I did notice that there is a familiar style of play with Leeds United under-23s. This is obviously something that was, I believe, at first it started to lack whilst we got this new coach for the under-23s, because Carlos Coberon was a mirror image, spitting image of Marcelo Bielsa's training style. And although Bielsa was there at the game yesterday, the style was starting to pick up a lot more, which is positive, because when you transfer this back into our first team with players like Llorente coming back into the fold after injury spells and after Phillips's yellow cards ban, it gets to the point where you expect them to play a certain style of football when you're watching Leeds United. And if they were to differ from this too much, if it come to the point where they need to progress into the first team, either because they've earned their place or because of injuries, then that's really important there, that the style that we are now iconic for, ideally, it comes and translates into the first team.
Well, that's it. It's very, very important to get that transition, what we were just saying. That transition, it comes, you know, the philosophy of football, I believe, does still come from the head coach, you know, from Marcelo Bielsa. I think because the chap, Mr. Jackson, is, you know, he only started this season, so it's going to take a little bit of time for it to come to fruition. And you know, it's done really, really well if you think about it. I mean, I could see in the comments Dan Dobb 1982 always comments 8 points clear, which bodes well, like he said. So it's really, really good. Brilliant. We've also got Ivan all the way from South Africa.
Yes.
Hello there,
Ivan. Hello, everyone. Nice to see your comments.
Yeah, it's lovely. So look, at the end of the day, it's really good if you have a strong base with the under-23s. Because if they get drafted into, and because we've got such a small squad, if they get drafted into the first team, at least they are clicked on with the system. So also with these players like Costa or Calvin Phillips coming in, if they've not played on the Saturday and they need a bit of fitness, it's good experience for the youngsters to actually join these guys, because one day they will be joining them in their training and in their matches.
Exactly right, yeah. And I believe the start that they've had, I know we're only a few weeks into January now for 2021, but just last week on Monday, Burnley, we beat them 4-1, the under-23s. So beating Burnley
Fabulous.
4-1, and now we also have beaten Stoke 1-0 yesterday. And it's incredible to see, because not only were we playing a Stoke team using players from our first team, I quote Phillips and Llorente, obviously, but Stoke in there had a Premier League defender, Ryan Shawcross, who was playing for Stoke. And so to see there the lineup, it's more evenly matched against each other, as you may expect from these games. I don't know why he was playing in there. He's a former player from the Premier League. But to see some faces there that aren't necessarily easy opponents, and we still perform the way we did, that's impressive by all means.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think it's good that they're winning games. It's good for because when you win games in football, it really does help you mentally, makes you much more stronger. If you're losing all the time, it drains you out, especially for young players. Young players breathe confidence. Bit of positivity works really, really well. So fair play to the under-23s, and I hope they continue on with this success.
Yes, I believe that's incredibly well. So, just wanted to let everyone know once again, please subscribe to the El Loco Leeds football channel on YouTube. If you are watching from Facebook, either on the Leeds Plus page or from the El Loco Leeds football channel group, from their page, sorry, you may not have noticed that there is a El Loco Leeds football channel on YouTube. You can subscribe, get up-to-date notifications for a lot more videos from Jinder. They're phenomenal.
Oh, thank you. But we're going to do this as well. So, Luke, you're debuting today. So this is your debut as a host on the channel. So this is your program, The Score. Like I said, I'm going to try and do this every once a week at least, minimum.
Yeah. That's right. It is important because there's a lot of information that we need to go through each week, and you've got a place for you to discuss specifically the recent fixtures. You've got your pre-match and your post-match, but once you've replied to somebody's comment, it's on there forever, which is nice. But then the interaction here, which is live, this is why I wanted to give this debut for this show, and to really try and find a new audience here, in between people that like watching videos in their own time, and of course people that like watching the live stream. And it's not to say that this video won't be published after. It'll be live on the YouTube channel. You can watch it forever, so it'll be on there. People who have not seen this live, please remember that we will be trying to upload a live stream from 8 p.m. on the YouTube page each Tuesday, and so you can watch us live. Again, comment, or if you don't have the time to, please do let us know when's best for you, and we might be able to get something in there for you. I believe it's also important, Jinder, to note that we've got I'm in contact with a lot of former Leeds United players. I might not name slip, but there's a few players which I could try get on the show. So there might be some specials coming up in 2021, including some ex-former players from our 1992 winning side. Not gonna spoil it there, but it'll be great to get some more people on the show and to really get more interaction from you guys and to give you what you want out of this show.
Yeah, I think it's nice. We have to give back to the community, the social media community, because look, at the end of the day, the social media hub, as I like to call it, is a huge factor of building a brand, and this brand is for Leeds United, because we're all Leeds United fans and we're all very passionate, and we've got our views, and you might not agree with mine or yours, but you've got to keep it coming. But what we have to do is we have to support the boys regardless, because this season, I'll come back to it, and I always say this in our pre-match chats or my match reaction videos, we're not here to bash anybody. I don't want to bash the players, because at the end of the day, you've got to look at it that footballers are professionals. So the most I've played was at a sort of a level where it was an amateur level. It wasn't even it wasn't even tiered football. So for what we do it for the fans. So it's a fan point of view, but within reasoning, you have to also be critical, but you've got to be constructive as well, because that will help the team, and it helps the community as well, the social hub that I'm talking to you about. If we're bashing the players and bashing the managers, the negativity, A, in ourselves is going to be a problem, and then B, it will filter out to somebody might know somebody on these social media platforms, might know the players as well.
The team players, this is correct, yeah.
So it does come through, But like I said, we've got to keep the flag flying for Marcelo Bielsa. We've got to keep the flag flying for Leeds, and I do believe that we always have a very bad January since Marcelo's come in. Our form in January takes a dip. If we think about last year, until we didn't play Brentford, we got a 1-1 at Brentford. That really lifted our spirits up, didn't it? And then we went on a fantastic run before lockdown, So we don't have a fantastic January, but we've got to keep going.
This is correct. And I believe it is important to note, just on a side note, that we're having issues with our pitch. We're having issues with our defence. We're missing. We haven't had a consistent defence all season. And to be 12 is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. I couldn't have seen it better myself, even if we had a strong team, even if all of our players were at their prime. Now you're looking at a team where Bamford up front is holding up the entire team, and then you've got obviously a very, very strong midfield. But you're looking at the defence and you're thinking, who there is a defender? Cooper, Struik is at under 23s, really. And obviously you've got Alien, Alioski, so forth, performing phenomenal jobs out in the left back and right back. But it's not their core position. It's important to see how well these players are doing, where they are. And obviously Robin Koch missing, Diego Llorente missing, and there's no familiarity at the back. There's no two players which have been together all season in centre-back position and who can really be strong. Again, with Melia, it's phenomenal to see that we're only losing 1-0 or we're pulling out wins whilst we're having such difficulty with our team.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, with this side, I mean, nobody thought on the media side of things, as in these TV pundits, they didn't think that Leeds, with this particular team, with this squad, and this manager, because a lot of them don't watch Championship football. Us as Leeds fans, we knew what Bielsa was all about, because we've seen it, we've experienced it, we've lived him for the last 2 years.
That's right.
But the media people, the Agbon Halls of this world, they didn't know anything about us. So to say that we're going to get burnt out and this, that, the other is completely wrong. And they were actually looking for Leeds to actually fall down. They
of course, easy story.
It's an easy story. It makes it great because we came up with such fanfare. I mean, I made a song about Leeds United's promotion. So there's a lot of people who in the media seen that, because this wasn't a small club that's come up. There was a story behind it. Aston Villa came up last year, and West Brom, they've been up and down, this, that, the other. But a lot of this narky comments from Agbon Lahore is because we were a bigger story than Villa coming up. So it comes from a lot of jealousy. So they're looking for Leeds to be taken down a few pegs, and they want to criticise. So if we win games, we will get criticised. If we lose games, they're going to come hard. We can't win as a Leeds team. But what Bielsa has done with this particular squad is absolutely phenomenal. Getting back to your original question, so this thing is what it's about. We're going to have this because it comes with the territory of Leeds United. Big club attracts this kind of attention.
I completely agree. Thank you for that, Jinder. So Real good comments. So moving on, before we close for today's stream, I just wanted to go through some of our comments once again and thank the people that have taken their time to interact with the live stream. Remember, if you haven't been able to watch this live, it should be live from 8 p.m. every Tuesday, ideally. And if not, we'll be sending out reminders, notifications to you to let you know when it is. So Dago from Chile, he's left us a comment. I can let you answer this one, Jinder. How do you think Leeds are going to perform the rest of the season with no new signings?
I believe in Marcelo, and I believe in this squad. So even if they don't sign anybody, I think we'll be okay. 5 wins. We need 5 wins. That's it.
Brilliant. So I believe it's incredibly important that we do sign somebody currently, but just looking from the squad we've got at the moment and mentioning the point I did in the previous section about there being no cohesive defence. We've had players who are defenders injured, who have been out because of the coronavirus and who have been missing or have been fulfilling other roles in the squad. If we can get back to full fitness within the next few games, then it's looking likely Koch is out for the rest of the season, but Llorente will be back. And so I do believe here that we've got a lot more sort of strength to fulfill a top half role by the end of the season. So we've got another comment here from the Dan Dobb. I don't buy into the Bielsa burnout theory. It's lazy journalism by the pundits. And if we can get through a miserable January and February with a better pitch and players returning, it's all good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, completely. He then followed on to say, do you think we have enough in the squad to stay up? He believes personally that we do. What do you think, Jinder?
I agree. I do. I think it's... I think the squad, the way they've performed and the way he's coached, this specific style of play is one where it's just like he's like shot like a cannonball out of a cannon, and it's just bang. He just wants to quickly get the 40 points, and it's like he's just going to steamroller it that way, and that's why there's no defense, and that for certain conditions. And you've got to look at the way the whole setup was with the global pandemic, no pre-season, with the way it is. You don't know whether we're going to close the season down midway. There's, and the football season could get scrapped. So there's all these other things that have mitigated into this particular season, a unique season altogether. No fans. Our game depends on a packed out Ellen Road. That football, that high octane football depends on 40,000 in Ellen Road. So the way Bielsa has got everything going, I think I think we'll be okay.
That's right. And Neil here said, guys, great watch, and it's great to see it being used in a positive fashion to support the club. I believe it's critically important for this. My group I've set up, Leeds Plus. We're reaching a point where we're the largest Leeds United community in the world, and it's important that I set this up because this was last season. We were losing a few games in the Championship, and all I heard on social media was how we were going to stay down. We were cursed. It was forbidden that we would ever succeed anymore. And I got to the point where I started believing it myself, and it really was starting to bring me down. I thought, no, I've got faith in this team. I've got faith in Bielsa. Let's look at not our last few games. We had a bad run, but let's look towards the future. Who have we got, and what can we do? And obviously, we went on to win the league by 10 points. So to bring this positive group, this positive environment to your channel, Jinder, being yourself very supporting of the club, of the players, I believe it's important to provide this to the fans and really get their opinions back in.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's everybody has a different style and a different approach to the way they look at the game, and I've got to look at it. Our subscriber base on our channel, Luke, it's one of the comments. It's like a nice community, and I thank the subscribers always, and it's constructive comments all the time, and that's what it's all about. And that's what you should be bringing to any team that you support. And like I said, we have a different style. We've got some great friends, in the YouTube content creating world. I mean, my good pals, I don't mind shouting them out, All Leeds TV, they're fantastic as well. It's all about having that kind of unity and that kind of, positivity coming through, so that's what it's about,
Very important, that's right. And we've got another comment here, which says, do we need a replacement or a backup for Bamford? It's quite a contentious talking point on social media. I believe...
Going to fire that to you, Luke. Sorry to jump in.
No, perfect. Yeah, we definitely do need a backup. And so we've become very reliant on Bamford. It's not to say that he's underperformed whatsoever. He's been phenomenal, had an outrageously good season. I believe even by his own standards, we've exceeded and he's exceeded. We've exceeded because of him. And it is so I believe it's not important to get a replacement. I believe he's on track to be one of the highest goal scorers of the season, and for a newly promoted side and for Leeds United, this is phenomenal. You can't ask more of a number 9 from a striker. It's absolutely phenomenal. But to see that if Bamford got injured, and this is the lack of depth in our squad, we do not have replacements. If Bamford is injured, can Rodrigo fill this role? Can Tyler Roberts fill this role? I'm unsure. Centre attacking mid or centre mid, they are perfect. But to actually replace Bamford, I don't know whether that is enough. And again, we were proven with our FA Cup game that if we replace Bamford with an under-23s, we thought before they were good enough to keep that up, but we've realised that maybe they don't have enough strength there yet to play. So I believe a backup is very important than a replacement.
Totally agree with you, man.
Just one more comment before we go. I wanted to give this one to you, Jinder. Great song, Jinder. We love the Punjabi vibe. So if everyone hasn't seen, if you're on Jinder's YouTube channel, which is the Loco Leeds football channel on YouTube, as seen below, or if you are on my Facebook page, the Leeds Plus page, or on Jinder's, the Loco Leeds football channel page, there's he's a musician. He releases songs, and he's got songs about Leeds United. It's absolutely phenomenal. I often have it in my house. It's a great way to get up and get excited and get going. So it's very good. If you haven't seen that, please do have a little check out.
Thank you, Luke. Just want to say to Anil, thank you for that lovely comment about the song. Like I said, it's you can check it out. It's on YouTube. It's actually on the Gin and Sea Talk YouTube channel. Marching On Together, fans. No problem. It's the first ever LUFC Punjabi song, and in the summer it got a lot of attraction, and it's just a big thank you to the Leeds United fans, and who made it very, very popular. It got to number 2 in the world iTunes chart. So it was a good time for Leeds United. So thank you to everyone.
And to see on the flip side, Jinder, how many people have you introduced to Leeds United in the Punjabi community who may not have had a football song, may not have had a football community, and now have become Leeds United fans?
I think you know what it is, and well, my song being one thing, but the way Marcelo Bielsa has brought a global aspect to Leeds United, we're everybody's second team now. We're everybody's second team, regardless. Even some of my friends who support a certain team in red, and they go, "Oh, we actually love watching Leeds United." So that's a great compliment from some of your enemies, So
Les here on YouTube says a smashing tune, love it, just before we leave. So that's it. We're going to close off for today, everybody. I just wanted to say, Jinder, thank you very much. And if you do have any comments about the show, about what we can do to improve, about the structure, or anything to do with the Leeds United pages that we both run, please do leave a comment. It doesn't have to be live. We can respond to this in our next live stream. We can respond to you after the video's ended. Jinder is extremely proficient with answering everybody's questions, being extremely social on his YouTube page. So go and subscribe. Remember to join the Leeds Plus group, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for watching, everybody. Cheers, Luke.
Cheers.